Read the following passage and answer questions 1 through 5. In 1944, Bird Thompson, having secretly earned her pilot's license, is traveling to Sweetwater, Texas to become an Air Force pilot. From Skies Over Sweetwater by Julia Moberg. Paragraph 1. The train pulls up to the station, right on time. The conductor helps lug my trunk up the stairs and into my compartment. I sit down on the gorgeous plush red velvet bench where I will be spending the next 12 hours. I run my fingers over it, realizing how long it has been since I felt anything so wonderful. Outside the window, the Iowa sun is starting to come up all purple and orange over the horizon. I think about Mom and my sister Charlotte, and I wonder if they are awake, and if they've noticed I'm gone. And then I think about Pa, and it hurts, so I open my trunk and find my favorite and only book I own, West with the Night by Beryl Markham. I get lost reading about her adventures, flying her plane across the Atlantic. For a moment I am disoriented and forget where I am until the grumbling clatter of the engine jogs my memory, reminding me that I'm on the train. My stomach is growling and sore with hunger, so I pull out the apple I pocketed. I am about to take a bite when I look up and become aware of a set of eyes watching me attentively. A girl is sitting across from me. She is around 18, the same age as me. Her hair is a bright shade of auburn red, and her eyes are the color of ginger. She's wearing a crisp white blouse tucked into a pair of blue pants and freshly polished black and white saddle shoes. I stare at her, realizing I had never seen a girl wearing pants before. Mom would be appalled. "Got any more food on you?" she suddenly asks, her eyes fixated on the apple in my hand. Takes me a moment to remember that I also brought a banana. I rummage through my bag and hand it to her. She peels it open and then looks down at my book, which has fallen onto the floor between us. She reaches and picks it up. Beryl Markham sure is fearless, isn't she? Imagine being the first to fly across the Atlantic. I've probably read this book at least 20 times myself, she says, turning the book over in her hands. Gently, she presses her finger on a large brown smudge on the book's spine. Looks like you've read this a few times, too. The smudge was actually from our oven. I had saved all my money for a month to be able to afford the book. I had to hide it safely away from Mom and Charlotte because it was about flying. One day, I was sitting in the kitchen, engrossed as Beryl is about to leave her native land of Africa for her flight across the Atlantic, when the front door opened. I was so involved in my reading I didn't hear it, and then Mom came into the room. She had gotten off work early from her shift at the Red Cross because they ran out of bandages for her to roll. "You're reading about flying again?" she asked, quickly grabbing it away from me. "You know how I feel about this. Why you keep insisting on defying my rules, Bernadette, is beyond me." She opened the oven and tossed my book inside. When I snuck back into the kitchen a few hours later to retrieve it, the heat from the gaslight had cooked the spine, leaving a smoldering black mark. Thinking about it all, I am ready to burst into tears. If the auburn-haired girl wasn't sitting in my compartment, I would be able to close the door and have a nice cry, but instead I choke back the tears. "What's your name?" she asks abruptly. I hate this question, because I always feel the need to offer an explanation after I answer. "Bernadette Thompson, but nobody calls me that except my mom. I hate it, actually. She gave me a rich-sounding name, hoping it would help me get a rich husband. Everyone calls me Bird. It's better that way." "Bird. I like that. So where are you headed, Bird?" "Texas." She laughs. "Well, that I figured. We're already in Texas, by the way. You must have slept all through Oklahoma." That's when I got on. "You ain't going to Sweetwater, are you?" I slowly nod. I didn't even know we were outside of Iowa yet. "Me too," she says, and our eyes meet, and before I know it, the tears start streaming down my face, and for a moment I feel like I'm watching myself from outside of my body. She sits down next to me. "What's the matter? Are you nervous about going to Sweetwater?" she asks, and then I know why I'm crying. I shake my head. It's just that I've never met another woman pilot before. I tell her the honestly surprising myself. I was convinced I was the only one, except for Amelia Earhart and Beryl Markham. That's why I'm going to Sweetwater, to find the others, to belong somewhere. The girl nods, and when our eyes meet, I know she understands. We sit together in silence as the train rattles on, taking us closer to our future. Question 1. By having Bird's explanation in paragraph 13, what does the author reveal about Bird to the reader? A. Bird and her mother have different expectations about how Bird should live her life. B. Bird is puzzled by her mother's motivation for giving her an elaborate name. C. Bird's mother thinks Bird should spend more time helping support the family. D. Bird's mother disapproves of the nickname Bird has given herself. Number 2. The author most likely has Bird go to Sweetwater to represent what? A. The opportunity to be a valued member of a group. B. Her willingness to accept more responsibilities. C. Her desire to learn from past experiences. D. The chance for her to use her imagination. Number 3. Through the final sentence of this excerpt, what does the author reveal about Bird's point of view? A. Frustrated. B. Insincere. C. Accomplished. D. Hopeful. Number 4. Which event from the excerpt does the author use to suggest that Bird will resolve her conflict? A. Bird remembers that she has food she can share with the girl on the train. B. Bird discusses her book with the girl on the train. C. Bird explains why she dislikes her full name to the girl on the train. D. Bird discovers that the girl on the train is also a pilot. Number 5. The author uses the sensory language in paragraph 1 to help the reader understand what about Bird's point of view. A. She believes that she is prepared for her journey. B. She wishes she could use a different form of transportation. C. She thinks that she will not enjoy such a long train ride. D. She is impressed by the fine features of the train's interior. Read the following excerpt and answer the questions that follow. From The Election by Don Zoldis. Characters: Carl, Mark, Christy. Voiceover: Kylie, female student, male student. 1. Carl. Well, we got 3 weeks to the election. Now we just make a few posters and coast to victory. Mark. Sounds good. They get out markers and poster board to start making posters. Carl. Let's think of a slogan. We need 3 adjectives to describe you. Mark. How about awesome, awesome, and awesome? Carl. Mark. Okay, fine. Hardworking. Carl. You're a B student. Mark. Which requires me to work hard. Carl. Okay. Mark. Responsible. Carl. Isn't that the same as hardworking? Mark. No. And, awesome. Carl. So your slogan is Mark. Hardworking, responsible, awesome. Mark. I like it. It's catchy. Time to watch some TV. To the audience. Mark. And that's when I saw it. Lights up somewhere on stage. Stirring, emotional campaign music. 2 students enter and hold up an American flag. Christy enters. Christy. America. Land of opportunity. Land of freedom. At least it was. Now, I don't know that I even recognize it anymore. But I say America's best days aren't behind her. I say we build a nation and build a school that is still the greatest in the world. I'm Christy Martin. Stand with me, and we will stand tall once again. Vote for me, Presley, student body president. She looks wistfully off in the distance. A breeze blows her hair. Voiceover. Paid for by the committee to elect Christy Martin. Mark and Carl sit there for a second. Mark. What was that? Carl. Just, all right. You'll crush her in debate, right? Just crush her in the debate. Mark. Sure. Kylie enters as the debate is set up. Kylie. And welcome to our first presidential debate. The future of our school hangs in the balance. Tonight we'll feature the 2 candidates for president, Mark Davenport and the mysterious newcomer Christy Martin, who has surged in recent polls and could be considered the frontrunner. We will be featuring a town hall style tonight in which the moderator, that's me, will solicit questions from our town hall audience, that's you. Each candidate will be given 1 minute to speak and their opponent will be given a 30-second rebuttal, all right? Christy enters. She walks towards Mark and gives him a hug. Christy. I will crush you like a bug. She waves and smiles and heads back to her podium. Mark retreats to his. Kylie. Okay, question number 1. A female student steps forward. Female student. Yes, my question is for both candidates. What are your qualifications to be president? Mark. I think I'm qualified because I have good ideas and I'm hardworking and responsible and awesome. Kylie, you have 45 more seconds. Pause. Mark. And also because I have good ideas and I like sports. He stops. Kylie, you have 35 seconds left. Mark. Oh, come on. That was more than 10 seconds. How much time do I have left now? Kylie. I'm not counting arguing time against you. You still have 35 seconds. Mark. Can I cede the rest of my time to my opponent? Kylie. Sure. Christy. I'm glad you asked this question, and thank you, Mark, for the opportunity to expound on my qualifications. When my family came to this country, they had nothing. My grandfather had a 4th grade education, and still he managed to open his own hair salon with just a pair of rusty scissors and a dream that someday he could provide for his children. That's what America is about, my friends. Thank you. Applause. Kylie, great answer. And now we'll take another student. Male student. How would you change things here at Presley High School? Mark. Well, I have a 3-point plan. 1, student evaluations for teachers. 2, increase funding for the arts. 3, soda and candy machines. And 3.5, fast food in the cafeteria. Pause. Kylie, you have 40 seconds left. Mark. I cede the rest of my time to let my opponent lay out her crazy plans. Christy. What we need in this school is change. Change of culture at the very top and through all levels of the school. And when someone is negative, that creates a negative culture that filters down through all levels. And that's what I aim to change. Thank you. Mark, you didn't actually say anything there. Christy, I'm not going to sink to your level of negativity, Mark. Mark, but you didn't actually say what you're going to do. You didn't answer the question. Kylie, all right. Christy, the frustration you're feeling is understandable because you're losing, but you don't need to be hostile. I'm not getting hostile towards you. Applause from the audience. Kylie, and that's all the time we have. Thank you for being in the debates. Lights change. Christy and everyone leave the stage. Carl and Mark sit on the side. Carl, wow. Mark, I don't get it. I was actually talking about issues. She said nothing the whole time. Carl, she destroyed you. Mark, but she didn't say anything. She has no plan. Carl, we've still got 2.5 weeks to turn this thing around. It'll all be all right. Question number 6. Which event during the debate does the playwright include to create humor? A, Kylie explaining the format of the debate. B, Mark struggling to fill his allotted time. C, the female student asking a question to both candidates. D, Christy suggesting that Mark is being negative. 7. Read this line of dialogue from the play. Christy, I will crush you like a bug. The author has Christy say this to Mark because the author wants to have Christy appear that she, A, plans to work hard during her campaign, B, thinks her ideas are better than Mark's, C, knows she has more supporters than Mark does, D, is trying to intimidate Mark before the debate. Number 8. What do paragraphs 27 and 46 suggest about Kylie and her point of view? A, she feels inexperienced at moderating debates. B, she favors Christy to win the election. C, she thinks she can ask better questions than the audience members. D, she was elected as student body president in the past. 9. Read paragraph 51. Mark, I cede the rest of the time to let my opponent lay out her crazy plans. What does the author convey about Mark's attitude towards Christy? A, he believes that Christy is more aware of the issues affecting the school. B, he thinks no one will agree with Christy's opinions on the issue. C, he suspects that Christy has more opportunities to prepare for the debate. D, he predicts that Christy will end up forfeiting the election. Number 10. By having Carl say this in the play, the author is able to show Carl's feelings about the election change from A, uninterested to passionate, B, arrogant to humble, C, confident to unsure, D, eager to indifferent.